Hi everyone, hope you've all had a wonderful week. In this week's report, we'll see if Lake Eucumbene is still rising and check where the fish were biting. Pete launched his 2026 Australian High Country Photography Calendar this week, and I'll let you know how you can get yourself a copy. There's the weather, pick of the week, and more. Good news on the water levels, with Lake Eucumbene up another 1.1% this week. The lake now 5.7% higher than it was at the start of September. Lake Jindabyne is up a further 1.5% or 12% in just 5 weeks. Tantangara Dam dropped 2.8%. The 2025-26 trout fishing season officially opened yesterday, the 4th of October, following a 4-month closure to allow fish to spawn and reproduce. This means rivers and streams across the beautiful Snowies can be fished again, including the iconic Thredbo and Eucumbene rivers. In New South Wales, recreational fishing generates thousands of visitors from across the country each year and produces around $3.5 billion in economic activity for the state. It's important that all fishers check that they have a current New South Wales recreational fishing fee receipt, unless exempt, and take the opportunity to remind themselves of the fishing rules before wetting a line. A summary of the trout fishing rules and regulations is available by accessing the New South Wales Recreational Freshwater Fishing Guide that is available from the New South Wales Department of Primary Industries website or wherever you purchase your fishing licence. The current season will remain open until midnight, the 8th of June 2026. And don't forget, if you land a fish, please take a pic and post it to the Lake Eucumbene Facebook group, and you might see it here in a future report. Tight lines, everyone. Despite some cold, windy weather during the week, there was still plenty of anglers out and about trying to land a fish, and there were some good catches recorded. Anthony and his boys Jasper and Finn were at Jens Bay last Thursday, braving the icy cold winds and even some sleet. They were rewarded for their efforts, though, landing these browns. The fish caught on worms. Great catches, boys, and I bet you can't wait for your next trip away with Dad. Tony was back at Eucumbene on Friday and fished in pretty windy conditions. Tony caught this nice rainbow on one of his 55mm mandatory minnows called the Grasshopper. And if you're interested in grabbing yourself one of Tony's quality lures, reach out to Tony via Facebook Messenger. Kylie was out on the water nice and early yesterday morning, and as you can see, the conditions just about perfect. My friend Nate was back at Eucumbene yesterday, and as usual, it wasn't long before he found the fish. Nate landing some lovely browns in picture perfect weather. Yesterday evening, Nate was back on the water for his first time ever trolling in the dark in 10 feet of water. Nate once again quickly finding the fish. Well, I've never trolled in the dark, Nate, so well done. Good mates Nathan and Tom were back at PJR Dam near Goulburn during the week. Nathan landing this nice brown on power bait in the Crookwell end of the dam. Looks like you had a great time, boys, and how about that cracking sunrise? My great mate Tiny was seriously busy during the week, making up another batch of his world-famous Eucumbene smoked trout dip. Tiny adding there would have been a lot more dip if the fish wasn't snacked on and there wasn't such great quality control. With pepper water crackers, of course. Love your work, Tiny. Here are a few more offerings from Jim. Jim adding brown, green, and black work well as mud-eye flies. The ones below are tied on a size 8 Camasan B830 hook. The eyes are plastic bead chain, which balances nicely with a heavy hook so the fly swims truly and the hook down. As always, thanks for the tip, Jim. We've seen quite a few of Joe's great flies in previous weekly reports, but this time it's his 9-year-old son Chet taking centre stage. Chet has been busy on the Vice lately, tying up blobs in fruit salad, sunburst, and fluoro yellow colours. Chet is asking just $2.50 each and would be stoked to sell a few as he's watched Dad tying and wanted to give it a crack himself. What a great effort, Chet. And if you're keen to grab one or two, send Joe a message via Facebook Messenger, or you can comment on Joe's post on the Lake Eucumbene Facebook group. Jill told me during the week that she's been enjoying learning more about flies from her hubby Ian. This one is a black beetle pattern Ian made from a bit of the thin foam material they wrap around fruit sometimes. Black heckle for the front. Jill saying Ian had had some pretty good luck with these ones. Ian also told Jill that you can use a coffee bean for the body, with Jill adding, "It better not have come from her coffee machine, Ian." Thanks for sharing with us all, Jill, and I hope no coffee beans were harmed in the making of these flies. My great mate Pete spends a lot of his downtime travelling around the snowy mountains taking amazing photos. Pete particularly enjoys the beauty and peace and quiet of the northern section of the Kosciuszko National Park. Both Pete and I agreeing it's the best part of the Snowies. Many watching these weekly videos would have seen me highlight Pete's amazing work. He also regularly posts his photos to his Australian High Country Photography page, as well as my Lake Eucumbene Facebook group. His posts always getting lots of comments and positive feedback. I've known Pete for a very long time. I remember playing handball with him and a few other mates while we waited for the old school bus to take us into Cooma for high school. The bus picking us up opposite the Big Trout, right next to Lee Stewart's old shop and museum. Pete lives and breathes the Snowies, and his passion and dedication for promoting this wonderful region is infectious. In more recent times, it's Pete's photography that has really helped spread the word. At the end of 2024, Pete launched his very first high country calendar for 2025. The photos were beautiful and the calendar a hit. Pete is selling out quickly. Following the success of 2025, Pete has just launched his 2026 calendar, which is full of his unique high country images, and he has copies available to purchase now. And looking at the cover photo, which shows one of my favourite places in Australia, Cabramatta, this calendar will be another big hit. The calendars are $30 each, plus $9 postage. If you're interested in getting a calendar, or three, contact Pete on 0408 975 056 or through Facebook Messenger. They'd make an ideal Christmas gift. A mild week of weather ahead for Lake Eucumbene, with showers on most days. Unfortunately, the wind will play a part, so take care out on the water. Maximum temperatures ranging from 16 degrees on Wednesday to a cooler 11 degrees next Friday and Saturday. You've just gotta love the weather in the Snowies. After a few warmer days earlier in the week, the snow returned on Thursday, the 2nd of October. Tiny posted this photo taken at 3 p.m. on the Snowy Mountains Highway just near the turnoff to Long Plain Road. Mary posted another great nostalgic pic of original Adaminaby. Mary isn't sure who took this pic in around 1959, but what a great shot. In the background you can see the Lake Eucumbene starting to fill, the water slowly circling a row of trees that line the original Adaminaby showground and where, apparently, back in the late 40s and early 50s, some really hard-fought games of rugby league were played between Adaminaby and Cooma. One can only imagine the conditions experienced at the ground in midwinter, with regular ice and snow making the field rock hard. To the left of the rising water, you can see a row of trees. Mary is saying that her mum and dad had their house there and they'd walk into town for work. Thanks again for such a wonderful memory, Mary. And if you like this pic, keep watching these videos and I might have more to share in coming reports. For pick of the week, I've gone with this wonderful shot of Delaney's hut taken by Damien back on the 1st of August around noon. It's such a beautiful capture of my favourite hut up in the Snowies, Damien. Original Delaney's hut was built in 1910 by James Thomas Delaney as a shelter while moving up his cattle to the high country for summer grazing. It was burnt to the ground in 2003 bushfires, rebuilt in 2007, but again burnt down in January 2020. The hut once again rebuilt in April 2023. Thanks for the pic, Damien. This week's fishing meme is a beauty. Rock beats scissors, scissors beats paper, paper beats rock, but nothing beats fishing rod. Tight lines, everybody. Well, that's the report for this week. I hope you found it useful. As always, happy to take on any feedback or suggestions. And don't forget, if you're looking for more information on Lake Eucumbene, check out the social media channels. There's the website, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And please don't forget to like and subscribe, and you'll be notified whenever I put new content up. Have a great week, everyone. Stay safe, tight lines, and go the storm.